What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. We have another training recap which was completed last week, and it was a really good week. This week marked us with being 5.5 or 5.5 weeks out from the European Championships, and we are pretty ahead of the game so far. It's just a case of continue to build momentum, stay healthy, stay safe, and just improve. However, what I wanted to speak about today was discussing cues, repeatability practices, and why a lot of us can fall into the trap of paralysis by analysis. Now, a good analogy I like for cues, so if you don't know what a cue is a conscious thought which is going to help improve your movement. So for example, a conscious thought of rotating your elbows inwards on the deadlift and thinking about protecting your armpit, which is going to allow you to get your lats and your upper back locked in and improve your starting position, for example, or a cue, a breathing cue, and the list goes on. Now, I like to think of cues as scaffolding on a building. So obviously, when you're building, when you're constructing a building, or you're improving a building, workers would put scaffolding up, and then the scaffolding would allow and enable them to improve the construction of the building, and then eventually when the building is constructed, they would take away the scaffolding, and then the building, stands tall and it is improved. And that's the way I like to think of cues, is that, we use the cues as scaffolding, we use the cues to help build the movement. But eventually we want the movement to be built and the cues to be ingrained, and we just want subconscious actions. So what we don't want is someone going for a 1 rep max, and when they're going for that 1 rep max, what we don't want is them going through 6 different cues, because quite frankly, when you're going for that 1 rep max or that PB, personal best, or a very heavy weight, we really can't be consciously thinking of every single little thing. We can't be consciously thinking where our knees are, where our hips are. We can't be consciously thinking of, right, okay, now we need to reverse the movement in the bottom of the squat. Things have to be subconscious, because otherwise, in my experience, your brain's going to get in the way, and it's going to affect the movement. If you consciously need to think about rebounding out the bottom of a squat, you're going to mess with your body's natural reversal, your natural stretch reflex, and that's what I like to think about cues. So in maybe an accumulation phase or a transitionary phase is a time to think about cues and implementing some cues and working with some cues. But eventually we need to get to a point where they need to be ingrained and built in, and we just need to subconsciously squat, which is relatively easy when you actually just think about getting out your own head. And furthermore, that's why repeatability is very important. So, if you approach the bar on the deadlift, you approach with your right foot first, then you approach with your left foot, then, you take your air in, then you touch your bar, you rotate your elbows, and then you pull. And you do that every single rep of every single working set, and it means that you don't have to second guess yourself, you don't have to second guess what you're doing, and it's just subconscious, it's natural, and that's going to improve your lifting the most. So that's kind of just some of my thoughts on cues and repeatability and some other factors. Again, this is coming to the end of the video, guys, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to also get a Q&A up this week as well. Not sure what day, but I'll definitely be getting one up, so that'll be cool. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to all of you next time.